In right field, number 15, Jack Salmon. At shortstop, number 3, Robert Castillo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fred Hoover Field on the campus of Golden West College. We have Don's baseball for you as they'll be taking on the Rustlers here in game number 5 of the Super Regional weekend in the Southern California playoffs. Round number 2 as the Dons will take on the Rustlers of Golden West College, a very familiar opponent. Both these teams from the Orange Empire Conference. The Rustlers finished first in the OEC this season, while the Dons finished tied for second with Saddleback College. Only 2 more teams remain as Santa Barbara City was eliminated yesterday after dropping both games, one to Golden West College and one to Santa Ana College in the conclusion of yesterday. Again, this game number 5 of the weekend. The winner would advance to the regional finals and will pay close attention to the score of the Palomar-Mount SAC game this weekend, because if Palomar wins, they'll host the regional finals, and the winner of this game would go to Palomar and take on the Comets for a chance at the 3C 2A state championship. Again, I'm Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Saturday afternoon here, just about ready for first pitch. They announced the starting lineups here down at the field. Both coaches already spoke with the umpires. It's game number 5 of this weekend, so let's go ahead and recap of what happened this weekend, as it was the Dons and the Vaqueros, both the lower seeds, taking off in game number 1 of the weekend back on Thursday, May 9th. And in surprising fashion, the Vaqueros were able to dominate the Dons by a score of 18-1. Yes, 18-1. They got 7 runs in the second, 7 runs in the 6th inning, and then they got 3 more runs in the 8th while tacking on 1 more run in the 9th, giving them a final score of 18-1. It wasn't close from the very get-go. Haas Fragoso was a starter for the Dons. In that game, he was only able to record 5 outs, 1 2/3 of an inning. He still might be available today in relief. In game number 2, the Dons had to take on the Golden West Rustlers, the host team here of the Super Regional, and they avoided elimination by defeating the Rustlers by a score of 14-3. So after day 1, the Dons were 1-1, Vaqueros were 1-0, and the Rustlers were 0-1. That forced the Rustlers to take on the Vaqueros yesterday, and the Rustlers were able to win in dominant fashion. The first 3 games of the Super Regional weekend were pretty lopsided. Game number 3 going to Golden West by a final score of 16-5, so they avoided elimination yesterday by defeating the Vaqueros. The Vaqueros did jump out to an early 2-0 lead. However, 5 unanswered runs came in the 3rd and 4th inning that allowed Golden West to come out on top, and they never looked back. So that forced the Vaqueros and the Dons to play in game number 4 of the weekend, the second game yesterday on Friday afternoon. The loser of that game would see their playoff season come to an end, while the winner would take on Golden West today. The Dons jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. However, the Vaqueros climbed back and scored that 4th run in the top of the 8th inning due to a pass ball by catcher Connor Deach that allowed the tying run to come in across and score. However, the Dons erupted for 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, and that was enough to give them a 9-4 victory over Santa Barbara City. Santa Barbara City was eliminated after that loss. It's the 3rd postseason in a row that the Dons have eliminated the Vaqueros from postseason play. And so now we're here today on this Saturday, May 11th, Mother's Day weekend. Again, shout out to all the mothers listening to the broadcast today. The number 3 seed Rustlers will take on the number 6 seed Santa Ana Dons. The Dons enter with a record of 32-12-1, will be the away team here. So we'll go ahead and get you their lineups in just a second. They're going to be on the 3rd base side dugout. They finished 12-9 in conference play in the Orange Empire Conference, the toughest baseball conference in the state of California. They're led by 9th-year head coach Tom Mills, who led this team to a 3C 2A state championship last postseason. They won 14 of their 15 games in the postseason. They caught fire due to a very potent offense, averaging 10 runs a game in the postseason. Again, that was last year's team. Still some members of the team here in the lineup and in the pitching staff. A lot of sophomores in that pitching staff for the Dons this year. And in the home dugout over here on the first base side is the Rustlers of Golden West College. They enter with a record of 31-13. They went 15-6 in conference play. They won every series except for one, and that one coming against the Santa Ana Dons. They lost 2 of 3 back in the 3rd conference series of the season. That was back in March. A lot of things have changed since then. The Dons went on to lose 3 straight conference series, losing to Saddleback College 2 of 3, Riverside City College 2 of 3, and then losing 2 of 3 to Orange Coast before winning 2 of 3 against Fullerton College. So they slipped in the standings, went down to 2nd place, and it was a tie for 2nd place with Saddleback College. They earned the number 6 seed. Golden West earned the number 3 seed. Thought both those teams were maybe seeded a little too low. They gave Cerritos and Palomar the 1 and 2 seeds here in the 3C2A Southern California Regional Playoffs. Golden West earned the number 3 seed, and LA Valley earned the number 4 seed. Golden West is led by 3rd-year head coach Andrew Ramos. It's the first time that the Rustlers have won the Orange Empire Conference title since 2015. The 3rd time in their program history since 2000. Looks like both teams will get ready for the national anthem, so we'll go ahead and take a quick commercial break. During the anthem, we'll be back with the starting lineups after this.
With 138 conference championships, 25 state championships, and 6 national championships, Santa Ana College has one of the premier athletic programs in California. With your help, we will continue to provide opportunities to student athletes as they thrive in both athletics and academics. We are Santa Ana College.
Starting your college journey is a big step. It requires discipline and dedication while you balance your work, life, and education. At Santa Ana College, you can choose a pathway that fits into your schedule and leads you toward your personal and educational goals. Earn an associate degree, university transfer, career training, or even a bachelor's degree in occupational studies. With classes available both in person and online. Gain the professionalism and confidence you need to further yourself and your career, and become a bigger part of your community. Wraparound services are available to fit your needs and provide all the necessary tools to achieve academic, personal, and career success. Start your journey at Santa Ana College.
Back here at Fred Hoover Field, it all comes down to this. 3 teams entered this super regional round here at Golden West College with hopes of advancing to the regional finals. Only 2 teams remain, and 1 team will remain after this game here. This will be the deciding game, and who takes on the winner of Palomar and Mount SAC in that portion of the bracket. Again, Dons are the away team, so let's go ahead and get you their starting lineup. Batting leadoff, playing second as he had for much of the season, it's Thomas Williams. In the 2 spot, it's left fielder Jake Long. Batting third and playing center field, it's Jimmy Leanda. Mikey Rocha, the first baseman, will be playing third and batting cleanup. In the 5 spot, it's Matthew Dobson, the third baseman. Batting 6th is the DH Keon Sanchez. Batting 7th is Connor Deach, the catcher. Brady Schrank will be playing right field and batting 8th, one of the changes in the lineup today. And batting 9th is the shortstop, Christian Altamirano. On the mound for the Dons, who you'll see in the bottom of the first inning, is Alan Huerta, the sophomore from Sonora High School. And let's go ahead and get you the starting defense. For the Rustlers, on the mound, it's a long, lengthy lefty wearing number 32. It's Dante Jackson. Jackson is a sophomore from Dana Hills High School. Golden West has a few Dana Hills players on this roster. Aiden Garcia will be behind the plate. At third is Dylan Alina. At shortstop, it's Robert Castillo. Over at second base, it's Rocco Caballero. At first base, it's Andrew Kirchner. In the outfield from left to right, Dom Porter, Caleb Duncan in center, and rounding things off for the Rustler defense is Jack Salmon. Again, they're led by third-year head coach Andrew Ramos. The Rustlers are 1-1 on the weekend. Dons are 2-1 on the weekend. This will be the fourth game for the Dons this weekend, the third for the Rustlers. That's the advantage they have being the host team here in the Super Regionals. So we're about ready for first pitch. Thomas Williams going to bat from the right side with the lefty on the mound. He's a sophomore switch hitter from Ocean View High School. First pitch catches the bottom half. It's strike one. Really good size turnout here at Fred Hoover Field. Busy day here at Golden West College. They usually do the swap meets here on the weekends. So a full parking lot coming in here today at Rustler Field. This one's a high chopper right back to the pitcher, Jackson. Jackson's going to wait patiently, make the throw over to first, and that's the first out. So that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, left fielder Jake Long. Jake Long moving to the 2 spot in their game against Golden West College back on Thursday. He was primarily hitting in the 7 spot much of the tail end of the season. This one's fouled off to the left side, maybe in play for Porter. He's going to give a look, running over there to his right, but it's going to go foul, out of play. 0-1 the count. Only 8 teams remain here in the postseason in the Southern California region. This will be the only part of the bracket. This one also hit foul, potentially in play. Lena's going to go back. Porter's racing in. Porter makes the catch over there by the bullpen on the third base side. And so there's 2 quick outs. 4 pitches, 2 outs for Dante Jackson. Dante Jackson, again, a redshirt sophomore from Dana Hills High School. 5-0, started 13 games for the Rustlers this season. In 62 innings of work, gave up 81 hits, 31 earned runs, 9 walks, and 42 strikeouts. So he doesn't allow a lot of free passes, pitches to contact, gets a lot of weak contact, as you see here in the top of the first. This one's hit over to third. Lena makes the throw in time, and that's out number 3. So 5 pitches, 3 outs. A productive first inning for the Rustlers as they keep the Dons off the board. Again, the winner of this game advances to the regional finals next weekend. Again, thanks for tuning in for Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. I'm Noah Alvarez. A lot of fans for the home Rustlers, a lot of fans here for the Santa Ana Dons as well. 2 teams very familiar with each other, both coming from the Orange Empire Conference. Let's go ahead and get you the starting defense for the Dons on the mound. As you see warming up, wearing number 8 is the sophomore from Sonora High School, Alan Huerta. Behind the plate, it's Connor Deach, the sophomore from Mission Viejo. Sophomore third baseman Matthew Dobson. Christian Altamirano, the freshman, will be manning shortstop. At second base, it's Thomas Williams. Over at first, it's Mikey Rocha. In the outfield, from left to right, it's Jake Long, Jimmy Deanda in center, and Brady Schrank, the new starter, getting his first start of the postseason over in right field. Will be manning right field and rounding off the defense for the Dons. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineup for the host Rustlers here in the bottom of the first. We'll see 1, 2, 3. Caleb Duncan, the center fielder, will be batting leadoff. Aiden Garcia will be behind the plate and batting second. Zach Samayoa will be the DH, batting third today. In the cleanup spot, it's Andrew Kirchner, the first baseman. Batting fifth is the third baseman Dylan Lena. Jack Salmon will be playing right and batting sixth in the lineup. Robert Castillo will be batting seventh and playing shortstop. Rocco Caballero will be batting second and be playing second and be batting eighth. And in the ninth spot is left fielder Dom Porter. You see the final warm-up pitch for Alan Huerta as Connor Deach throws down. Bottom of the first inning. Caleb Duncan. Alan Huerta making his first start of the season. The Dons burned both Jackson and Deal and Jack Meek. They're 2 stronger options at the starting pitcher position. Brady Schrank was a starter for much of the season. However, due to an injury, just hasn't been as effective in getting the start in right field. Tom Nils and The rest of the coaching staff wants to get that bat in the lineup, as on the very first pitch, Caleb Duncan takes it off the shoulder, and it's a hit by pitch to lead off the game. So a painful way to start the game for Caleb Duncan, but I'm sure the Rustlers like having the leadoff hitter on. And that'll bring up the catcher, Aiden Garcia. Started all 44 games for the Rustlers this season. A hard thing to do behind the plate. Tough job back there, but he's been very durable. A left-handed hitting catcher. You don't see those too often. Finished the season hitting .293. And it'll be Caleb Duncan on first base. Threat to run. He leads the Rustlers with 23 stolen bases, so a lot of speed on first base. Connor Deach has a very strong arm. Alan Huerta probably has one of the higher velocity fastballs in the Dons bullpen. He's right up there with Joey Iglesias. Want to know the count to Aiden Garcia. Runner stays put at first. This one does catch the outer half. 1-1 the count here in the bottom of the first. Nobody out. Runner on first already. Huerta made 14 appearances out of the pen. Finished with a record of 5-1 and had an ERA of 5.93. Gave up 30 hits and 20 earned runs and 30 innings of work. This one misses outside, 2-1. Huerta pitching from the first base side of the rubber. Sophomore from Sonora High School. Move over there to first to check on Duncan, but he's back in with the slide. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Here's the 2-1. This one runs inside. Control a bit of an issue for Alan Huerta, so we'll see how long of a leash that Tom Nils and pitching coach George Caralejo give to Alan Huerta. Huerta has an interesting story. He was here on the team during the 2020 season that obviously was cut short due to COVID. This one hit high into the air, into right field. Brady Schrank going back a few steps. And he makes the catch for out number 1. A well-hit ball, but high up into the air, so it's an easy play for the right fielder.
Number 13,
Huerta didn't play in the 2021 season. However, played in the 2022 season. He had to redshirt in the 2023 season, so he was a member of the program but wasn't playing last year when the team went on to win the 3C2A state championship. So he's technically, I guess you could say, a third, maybe fourth-year sophomore. Has someone dropped something over here in the stands. Tag applied there by Rocha, but back in with the slide safely is Caleb Duncan. One out in the bottom of the first, Zach Samayoa, the DH, batting from the right side, wearing number 13. Heart of the order, very good here at Golden West College. An off-speed pitch that had Samayoa out in front, 0-1 the count. Combination of Samayoa, Kirchner, Lena, and Salmon. A very powerful and dangerous part of the lineup. Salmon was the co-MVP in the Orange Empire Conference. As there's another throw over to first, but back in is Caleb Duncan. Samayoa also played all 44 games. Played a lot of outfield in the beginning of the season. However, moved primarily to the DH spot towards the tail end of the season. He's in an 0-2 hole. He had 303 on the season. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Huerta. This one misses down and away. Try to get him with the slider. Bottom of the first inning here at Fred Hoover Field. Runner on first, Caleb Duncan. Zach Samayoa at the plate. Another move over to first. Samayo is a sophomore from Los Alamitos High School. Here's the 1-2. This one's hit softly into the air. Coming in is the left fielder, Jake Long. He's going to call off the shortstop. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Now batting first baseman, number 29, Andrew Kirchner.
And that'll bring up the left-handed hitting first baseman, Andrew Kirchner. Kirchner wears number 29. He's a sophomore from Gar High School. Off the 605 and 91 freeway. This one, an off-speed pitch, just misses. 1-0 the count to the first baseman. Kirchner hit .318 on the season, started all but 2 games for the Rustlers this year. Hit 10 home runs and drove in 30 RBIs. This one's hit on the ground past Thomas Williams at second. Taking the round is Duncan. He's going to race over at the third. Schrank's not going to get it in time, so it's a single that moves the runner over to third base. Runners at the corners now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting third baseman, number 23, Dylan Lena.
That one was hit very hard. Thought Thomas Williams was going to have a chance at it. So we'll work on the camera feed here at Hoover Field. Runners at the corners, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. First pitch breaking ball is in there for a strike. Owen won the count to Dylan Lena. Alan Huerta coming set. Here's the righties. 1-0. This one skips away from Deach. Deach is going to have to race Duncan to the plate, and Duncan is in there. Sliding safely. A risky play to send it. Deach, the ball didn't get that far away from Deach. However, Duncan still went to attack home plate. Duncan made a maneuvering slide around the near side part of the plate. And so that's how the Rustlers get their first run off the wild pitch. Risky move for the first run. This one misses down and away. 2-1 the count. Runner on second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Ooh, just misses the inner half. 3-1 the count. Three balls, 1 strike. Runner on second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. This one, ooh, sharply hit foul into the third base dugout. Look out over there. Runs the count full now. Alan Huerta comes set. Here's the 3-2 to Lena. This one also fouled over to the third base side. Three balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the first. Rustlers lead 1-0. This one, again, weakly hit over to third base, so we'll do it once again. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat here between Lena and Huerta. Here's the 3-2 from Huerta. It's a breaking ball that Lena swings at and misses. So that's out number 3. But the Rustlers strike first here, getting
Starting your college journey is a big step. It requires discipline and dedication while you balance your work, life, and education. At Santa Ana College, you can choose a pathway that fits into your schedule and leads you toward your personal and educational goals. Earn an associate degree, university transfer, career training, or even a bachelor's degree in occupational studies. With classes available both in person and online. Gain the professionalism and confidence you need to further yourself and your career, and become a bigger part of your community. Wraparound services are available to fit your needs and provide all the necessary tools to achieve academic, personal, and career success. Start your journey at Santa Ana College.
With 138 conference championships, 25 state championships, and 6 national championships, Santa Ana College has one of the premier athletic programs in California.
Two and one the count to first baseman Mikey Rocha. We got the camera feed back up. This one's weakly hit back to the pitcher again. The second time we've seen that today. And Dante Jackson flips it underhand for out number 1. So the Rustlers strike first, got 1 run in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up the third baseman, Matthew Dobson. Pitch misses for ball 1. It was a very efficient inning for Dante Jackson. He threw only 6 pitches to get all 3 outs in the top of the first. This one's sharply hit into right center. Both outfielders give chase. This one gonna go over the wall. It's a solo shot off the bat of Matthew Dobson. His 6th home run on the season. And just like that, it's a tie ball game. That one was well hit into right center field. It's a deep ballpark here at Fred Hoover Field. But that one just kept carrying and carrying, and now it's a 1-1 game. A 1-0 fastball that Matthew Dobson takes over the right center wall. With 1 out, things are all tied up again at 1 apiece. Now we'll see the DH Keon Sanchez. 0-1 the count as he fouls this one back out of play to the right side. Again, Dante Jackson on the mound, Aiden Garcia behind the plate, Lena over there at third, Castillo at short, Caballero at second, and Kirchner at first. Top of the second inning here. This one catches the inner half. A nice breaking ball there from the lefty. Here's the 0-2 from Jackson. This one's weakly hit over to Lena at third base. He has to charge, running, and makes the throw to first in time. 5-3 for out number 2. That's the 5th home run of the season that Dante Jackson has given up. Again, he's a pitch-to-contact pitcher. He has to keep the ball down in order for the Dons to get some easy outs. Here's the first pitch to Connor Deach, batting in the 7th spot today. He's seen the ball really well. Started back in that final regular season series against Fullerton College. Connor Deach went 3 for 3 in that final game against Fullerton Hornets. 1-1 the count. He finished the season hitting .261. Again, a lot of those batting average points and those hits came late in the season and in the postseason. Started 24 games behind the plate for the Dons this year. This one hits the front foot, and so he'll take first base after the hit by pitch. So now for the first time this postseason, we'll see Brady Schrank swing the bat. Brady Schrank is listed as a utility player, was primarily used as a starter this season. The freshman from Foothill High School was a bounce back from the University of Hawaii. But due to an arm injury, unable to be as effective. This one's hit into left center, driven really well. This one's going to get all the way to the wall. Connor Deach is going to be waved around third. He's going to try and score at home plate. No throw as he will score, and the Dons take an early 2-1 lead. So a 2-out double that scores Connor Deach all the way from first base. Again, Brady Schrank getting the start over Carson Case, who started much of the season. And now it's a 2-1 game in favor of Santa Ana College. That'll bring up the shortstop, Christian Altamirano. Freshman from Brea Olinda High School. Brady Schrank at second. Caballero, the second baseman, is going to hold him. 2-1 is the score here in the top of the second inning. This one catches the inner half. 0-1 the count to the shortstop. Dante Jackson pitches from the middle of the rubber. This one waved at and missed, an off-speed pitch, and a good time to call that one. Jackson hoping to strand that runner over at second base. Dons have a 2-1 lead here at Fred Hoover Field. The winner of this game will go on and advance to the regional finals next weekend. This one sharply hit into left field. That's going to be good if it stays fair, and it does. So Brady Schrank now going to come in and score. Christian Altamirano follows up the Schrank double with a double of his own. Back-to-back doubles with 2 outs. And the Dons are now up 3-1. The defending state champions were held to just 1 run in the first game of the weekend. However, scored 14 in game number 2. They scored 9 yesterday in game number 4 of the weekend and have 3 runs early on here in the top of the second. The bats have come alive here for the Dons this weekend in a big way. Jackson comes set. Now it's the top of the order. Thomas Williams in the batter's box. Breaking ball catches the inner half. 0-1 the count. Williams grounded right back to the pitcher. It was a weakly hit grounder to start the game. Altamirano over there at second. Good speed for the shortstop. This one hit on the ground to Lena over there at third. Lena makes the throw in time over to first, and so that will be out number 3. The Dons respond with 3 runs in the top of the second after going down 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Might be a high-scoring game today. And thanks for tuning in to Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. This inning started off with a weakly hit grounder by Mikey Rocha for out number 1. However, it was Matthew Dobson with 1 out in the inning who hit a home run over towards right center. Then the DH Keon Sanchez grounded out to third, but with 2 outs, there was a little rally as Connor Deach was hit by a pitch. Brady Schrank followed that up with a double that scored Connor Deach, and then Altamirano followed up with a double of his own. So 3-1 is the score now. Alan Huerta is still on the mound when we come back. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel.
Life doesn't change overnight. It takes effort and dedication. It takes learning new skills and putting yourself and loved ones first. At Santa Ana College, you can complete a full-time accelerated online program in just 2 years. Choose a program that meets your needs and changes your educational dreams into a well-deserved reality. Building the life you want means taking a first step. Start your journey at Santa Ana College. Where it leads is up to you.
Bottom of the second here. It'll be 6, 7, 8 due up here in this half of the inning. Again, the Santa Ana Dons taking on the Golden West Rustlers here. Game number 5 of this Super Regional weekend. Here's the first pitch to Jack Salmon, the co-conference MVP. As the first pitch is in there on the inner half for a strike. 0-1 the count. Jack Salmon led the team in a lot of different categories, including batting average, 370 on the season. He also started all 44 games. This one an off-speed pitch, down below the knees, but Salmon offered at it. 0-2 the count. Salmon, along with Aiden Garcia and Zach Semayoa and Robert Castillo, are the 4 players who started and played every game for the Rustlers this season. Alan Huerta still on the mound for the Dons. Here's the 0-2. This one's hit into the air, going to tail away a little bit from the outfielder Jimmy Leanda, but he races over into deep right center and makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 quick out in the inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop Robert Castillo. Castillo is one of those 4 players who played every single game for the Rustlers. He finished with a batting average of .304. This one runs up and in to the shortstop. 1-0 the count. Castillo is one of 4 players from San Dimas High School here on the Golden West Rustler. 2-0 the count to the shortstop. The catcher, Aiden Garcia, is also from San Dimas High School as well, and they have 2 arms in the bullpen, all sophomores. All continuing to play collegiately here at Golden West College. 2-1 the count, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Dons lead 3-1. Nobody on base, and Castillo swings through that one. 2-2 now the count. Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed. The breaking ball out of the zone, and Castillo couldn't lay off. That's out number 2. That's the second strikeout of the outing. He got Dylan Lena back in the bottom of the first. We mentioned that Alan Huerta didn't make a start this season. However, he did make a start back in the 2022 season. He made 2 starts, actually. He made 14 appearances, 12 were starts, or 12 were out of the bullpen, 2 were starts. As this first pitch misses to Rocco Caballero, the second baseman. Again, Huerta had to redshirt last year, but played in the 2022 season for the Dons. This one was hit into the air, out of play to the right side, towards the pool. 1-1 the count. In 2022, the Dons went to the Super Regional round and, however, lost to the Palomar Comets. This one, catches Caballero on the arm, and so he will be awarded first base. So potentially a 2-out rally here. A windy day here at the ballpark as you see some umbrellas flying over there in the stands. Got to be careful. So Huerta started that last game to Palomar College in the postseason, needing every arm that they could get as a freshman. He started that game against Palomar College. The Dons lost 17-9. He went 2 innings, gave up 7 hits, and gave up 6 runs, all of which were earned. He's hoping for a better start here today against Golden West College. Has a 1-1 count against the number 9 hitter, Don Porter. Again, Huerta making his first start of this season. 3rd career start with the Dons. Move over to first, but back end standing is the second baseman. Caballero at first. Don Porter in the batter's box, playing left field today. This one's hit sharply into center field. Jimmy Deonda's going to race to his right and makes the catch. That one hung up just long enough for the center fielder to get over to it, and that's out number 3. Transitioning over to the top of the 3rd. Dons lead 3-1 here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Again, thanks to Cammie Lewis for fixing the camera feed earlier in the game. In case you missed it, Dobson hit a solo home run back in the top of the 2nd. That tied things up at 1 apiece after the Rustlers scored 1 in the bottom of the 1st. Then with 2 outs, Connor Dietz was hit by a pitch. Brady Schrank and Christian Altamirano had back-to-back doubles. So that's how we have a 3-1 score in favor of your Santa Ana Dons. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. I'm Noah Alvarez. In game number 1 of this weekend, the Dons fell to Santa Barbara City College by a score of 18-1. That forced the Dons to play 2 games back on Thursday. They defeated Golden West in game number 2 by a score of 14-3. It was a grand slam by Mikey Rocha in the top of the 1st that really got the scoring started for the Dons, and they never looked back. Then in game number 3 of the weekend, the Rustlers had to take on Santa Barbara City. It was a must-win game for the Rustlers. They ended up winning that game 16-5. So that forced the Vaqueros and the Dons to play in a win-or-go-home game number 4 yesterday. And the Dons came out victorious by a score of 9-4. Things were tied up going into the bottom of the 8th inning at 4 apiece. It was a pass ball that allowed the 4th run to come across for Santa Barbara City in the top of the 8th. However, the Dons erupted for 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And that allowed them to come across with a win. 9-4 was the final score in game number 4. We're here in game number 5 of the weekend, the final game. Winner of this game would advance to the regional finals next weekend. Only 8 more teams remain here in the Southern California bracket. I'll get you some scores from around the 3C2A in between innings. This one's sharply hit over to Kirchner at first. He bats it down. Kirchner throws over to Jackson, and Jackson with those long strides beats Jake Long over to first. So nice defensive play there by the first baseman just to knock that one down. It was well hit off the bat of Jake Long. Jackson, not an easy play for the pitcher, but he gets over there in time for out number 1. Jackson standing at 6'5". Here's the first pitch to Jimmy Deanda. This one misses. 1-0 the count to the center fielder. Nobody on base, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Off-speed pitch does catch the outer half. 1-1 the count to the center fielder. He grounded out to 3rd base in his first AB. Jackson from the windup. This one hit foul to the right side. 1-2 the count. In their win yesterday over the Vaqueros, Jimmy Deanda went 3 for 4. Also reached on an error. This one misses outside. 2-2 now the count. Mikey Rocha on deck. DeAnda, the sophomore from Mater Dei High School, played left field. Started 39 games for the Dons last season. This one's sharply hit into left center. It's going to hang up long enough for Caleb Duncan to race over from center field and make the catch for out number 2. We've seen some good outfield play here from both the teams.
First baseman, number 7, Mikey Rocha.
And now we'll see the first baseman, Mikey Rocha. During last season, he was the starter everyday shortstop, but not at the beginning of the season for the Dons, as an injury to Thomas Williams thrusted Mikey Rocha into the starting shortstop spot. And he played all of conference along with all of the postseason at the shortstop position, now playing first base this year. Sophomore from Eastlake High School over in San Diego. Again, we know his family's listening over there. 1-1 the count to Mikey Rocha. This one an off-speed pitch. This is down. 2-1 the count. Rocha hit that grand slam back in the top of the first in the game against Golden West College on Thursday. That came with nobody out in the top of the first. Dons jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. Breaking ball. Ooh, this one was a pretty one. A nice pitch there by Dante Jackson for strike 2. Rocha went 0 for 2 yesterday. Was hit by a pitch and drew a walk, so reached base twice. This one does catch the bottom part of the zone, and that's strike number 3. So Rocha goes down looking for out number 3. Good pitching there by Dante Jackson. And he sets the Dons down in order. Heading to the bottom of the third. Dons lead 3-1. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Alan Huerta still on the mound for the Dons. Let's get you some scores from around the 3C2A. This is the only part of the bracket that there will for sure, no matter what happens here today, will be one game, as the other brackets, the other 3 parts of the brackets, could potentially have 2 games today, depending on who wins. Saddleback won yesterday over LA Valley by a score of 15-6, and they currently lead 1-0 over LA Valley now in the top of the third. Again, Saddleback's the home team because that's the game number 2 of that best of 3 between LA Valley. That super regional hosted by the LA Valley Monarchs. Mount SAC trailing to Palomar 8-3, that game in the top of the 6th, and if Palomar wins, they would host the regional finals and host the winner of these 2 teams right here. And in the top of the 7th inning, Cerritos has a 5-4 lead over Long Beach City College. Both those teams in the same conference, just like Golden West and and Santa Ana. So Cerritos leading, Palomar leading, and Saddleback leading. If all 3 of those teams win, they will all advance to the regional finals next weekend. This one hit into the air, out of play to the right side. The center fielder, Caleb Duncan. He was hit by a pitch and then came around to score. It was a risky move. You guys didn't get to see it because the camera feed went dark. However, it was a ball that scooted away from Connor Deach. 0-2 now the count. And it didn't go very far. It was maybe 4 or 5 feet away from Deach. He picked it up, but Duncan got a great break on the ball. Went for home plate. Had to maneuver his body around the tag from Connor Deach. And Connor Deach is a tall catcher at 6'3". But Deach couldn't apply the tag. Duncan goes down swinging here in this at-bat. That's out number 1.
Now batting, catcher number 2, Aiden Garcia.
But Duncan is responsible for the first run of the game. Again, on a wild pitch. He beat Connor Deach to home plate, avoided the tag, and the Rustlers jumped out to an early 1-0 lead back in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up the catcher, Aiden Garcia, who flew out to deep right field in his first AB. Here's the first pitch from Alan Huerta, runs high and wide. Alan Huerta on the mound, the sophomore from Sonora. Connor Deach behind the plate. Dobson at third. Altamirano at short, Williams at second, and Rocha at first. This one misses the outer half. 2-0 the count. In the outfield, it's Jake Long in left, Jimmy Leanda in center, and Brady Schrenk, the outfielder, in right field. 2-0 the count to the catcher, Aiden Garcia, sophomore from San Dimas High School. In their win over Santa Barbara City, Aiden Garcia went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. That one does catch the outer half, 3-1 the count. Garcia hitting from the left side. The Rustlers in their black uniforms with the white pants. Dons in their playoff reds, and this one fouled back. Playoff reds for the Dons and their gray pants. On deck is the DH, Zach Samayoa. Full count now to the catcher. Nobody on base. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. This one swung on and missed. A pitch downstairs that Aiden Garcia offered at and couldn't catch up to. That's out number 2.
Now batting designated hitter, number 13, Zach Samayoa.
Again, a good size turnout here for both teams at Fred Hoover Field. Santa Ana College not too far. About 17 minutes away from Golden West College. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon for baseball. First pitch to Samayoa, the DH, is swung on and missed. Strike 1. Samayoa flew out to left field. It was Jake Long who came in and made the catch. Slider that misses down and away. Currently 69 degrees here in Huntington Beach. Always great weather here on this campus. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. This one fouled right back to the backstop. Good swing there by Samayoa. On deck is the first baseman, Andrew Kirchner. 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 from Alan Huerta. This one swung on and missed, so he strikes out the side. He gets Caleb Duncan, Aiden Garcia, and Zach Samayoa all to go down via the strikeout. And the Dons are still hanging on to that 3-1 lead here as we transition to the top of the 4th. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. When you get to hoist the trophy, the next season comes with a big target on your back. There isn't a man in that dugout who isn't clear on the objective. A coach who knows what it takes, sophomores who are hungry for an encore, and freshmen who want to cement their name in history. So no matter the time or the place, regardless of the adversity we may face, we don't hang our heads, we hang banners. There's no room or time for panic, because come May, we know how to create that magic. The bumps and bruises along the way may have taken a toll, but come postseason, the only thing on our mind is back here at Fred Hoover Field. It's game number 5 of this Super Regional weekend. The winner advances to the regional final next weekend. Both teams from the Orange Empire Conference. Santa Ana College earned the number 6 seed, and the Golden West Rustlers earned the number 3 seed in the postseason. Dante Jackson still on the mound as you see the final throwdown from Aiden Garcia. In this half of the inning, it'll be 5, 6, 7. Matthew Dobson to lead things off, and he hit that solo shot to right center. back in the top of the second. So Jackson will have to work very carefully around him. Dobson was one of those three, I like to call them the trio, of freshmen last year. Had a big impact. Jimmy Leanda, Matthew Dobson, and Mikey Rocha. This one misses outside, 1-0 the count. But that trio helped as freshmen. Helped the Dons capture the 3C2A state championship. Dobson had a big solo home run in extra innings last year against the College of the Desert Roadrunners back in the first round of the playoffs. 0-2 the count, 2-0 the count here in the top of the fourth. Dons lead 3-1. They have 3 runs off of 3 hits, no errors. Rustlers have 1 run off of 1 hit. Breaking ball misses outside, and you can tell Jackson is working very carefully around Dobson. Here's the 3-0. This one catches the zone, 3-1, as Jackson will have to work back in it. This one misses, so it's a 5-pitch walk to lead off the inning. Matthew Dobson reaches first, and that'll bring up the DH, Keon Sanchez. So runner on first is Dobson. That'll bring up the freshman from Canyon Crest High School, Keon Sanchez. He watches the first pitch breaking ball miss down and in. 1-0 the count. It was Dobson yesterday who stole second back in the bottom of the 8th inning against Santa Barbara City, and on the throw down, no one was covering, or the second baseman got there late, so the throw was nearly into the outfield. That allowed a runner to come across to score from third as there was runners on the corners. But again, it was a throw down by the Santa Barbara City catcher, Vince Gambardella. The shortstop was late. The second baseman was there to back it up. But a run came across to score, and Dobson advanced to third base. We'll see if they decide to put Dobson in motion. Has above average speed. 1-1 the count to Keon Sanchez. Hit .349 entering today. This one hit foul to the left side. 1-2 the count. Sanchez went 2 for 4 in the game yesterday against Santa Barbara City. Also drew a walk. Reached base safely 3 times for the Dons offense. Dante Jackson coming set. Runner stays put. Check swing by Sanchez. They appealed down to first, and they said no, he didn't. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good discipline there by Sanchez. Again, more fans piling in here at Fred Hoover Field. Connor Deach, the catcher, on deck. Nobody out. This one misses down and in, so it's now a full count to the DH. I'm sure if you're head coach Andrew Wamos, you want Dante to at least give you 4 or 5 innings of work. We're here in the top of the 4th. But you also don't want things to get out of hand and Santa Ana to jump out to a big lead. Here's the full count pitch, an off-speed pitch that missed badly, and so now it's another walk. Dobson advances to second. Runners on first and second, and I'll bring up Connor Deach. He was hit by a pitch and came around to score on the double by Brady Schrenk. Now it looks like the pitching coach for Golden West will come and talk to not the whole infield, but at least Dante Jackson, Kirchner, and Aiden Garcia. And thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Game number 5 of the weekend. And game number 1, ooh, looks like they're going to pull Dante Jackson. So, new pitcher to tell you about. That's something that we were just talking about. So new pitcher to tell you about, J.D. Rodriguez. Just to kind of recap the weekend and lay out the scene, Dons play the Vaqueros as the 2 lower seeds faced off in game number 1 of the weekend. The Vaqueros surprised everybody and won 18-1. Then in game number 2, the Dons had to take on the Rustlers and avoid elimination. They defeated the Rustlers by a score of 14-3. Then in game number 3, that took place yesterday, the Rustlers took on Santa Barbara City, and the Rustlers defeated the Vaqueros 16-5. Then in a win or go home scenario for both teams, the Vaqueros and the Dons, they faced off in game number 4 of the weekend. Dons came out victorious by a score of 9-4. And now here we are, the Dons and the Rustlers taking on each other for the 2nd time this weekend, the 5th time this season. Again, these teams played 3 games as members of the Orange Empire Conference. The Dons won 2 of 3 in the regular season, 3 of 4 in total. New pitcher to tell you about, it's J.D. Rodriguez. And we'll tell you a little bit more about J.D. Rodriguez after this commercial break.
Life doesn't change overnight. It takes effort and dedication. It takes learning new skills and putting yourself and loved ones first. At Santa Ana College, you can complete a full-time accelerated online program in just 2 years. Choose a program that meets your needs and changes your educational dreams into a well-deserved reality. Building the life you want means taking a first step. Start your journey at Santa Ana College. Where it leads is up to you.
So the new pitcher to tell you about, wearing number 27, it's J.D. Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a 6'5" sophomore from Orange Lutheran High School. So he was teammates with Jackson Andeal on that same Orange Lutheran Lancers team. Jackson Andeal elected to play at Santa Ana College. So Rodriguez is the new pitcher. Made 12 appearances out of the bullpen for Golden West this season. Finished with a record of 4-6. Connor Deach shows bunt, gets it down the third base line, but it's going to go foul. So Deach trying to lay down the sacrifice bunt with runners on first and second and nobody out. New pitcher in the game, J.D. Rodriguez, finished with a record of 4-6, an ERA of 4.96. In 69 innings of work, gave up 69 hits, 38 earned runs, 38 walks, and 64 strikeouts. Connor Deach shows bunt again, and this one's popped foul into the netting back here. So Connor Deach will have to swing with 2 strikes now, unable to sacrifice those runners over. It's Dobson over at second, Sanchez over at first. Top of the 4th inning, nobody out. Dons lead 3-1. Corner still playing in with 2 strikes. This one misses down and away. J.D. Rodriguez finished tied for the team lead with 4 saves, both he and Alex Ramos. Started game for the Rustlers, but also came out of the bullpen quite plenty as well. So one of the better arms out of the bullpen for the Rustlers and Andrew Ramos. This one a big breaking ball, but it misses the zone. 2-2 the count. Again, Dante Jackson only able to get 9 outs for the Rustlers at the start of this game. J.D. Rodriguez did start a game against the Dons during the regular season in game number 2 of that regular season series. This one, chopped foul, no, towards Lena. He's going to try and step on the bag, but it's going to go foul. So we'll do it again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. In that start against Santa Ana College in the regular season, J.D. Rodriguez went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts as the Dons came out victorious by a score of 9-7. Corner still playing in. Lena about even with the bag at third. Here's the 2-2 from Rodriguez. This one, oh, wow. Rodriguez getting squeezed a little bit there. The Rustler crowd, too, was cheering as if that was going to be called strike 3. Rule the ball, and now it's a full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here's the 3-2 to Connor Deach. This one's hit foul to the left side towards the third base coach. And we'll do it again. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Rodriguez did pitch last weekend as well, out of the bullpen for the Rustlers in game number 2. Went 4 innings, struck out 5 batters, and walked 1 on their way to a 14-6 victory for the Rustlers over San Diego City. Here's the 3-2. This one's hit high up into the air, in play potentially for the first baseman, Kirchner. Kirchner makes the catch for out number 1. So Dante Jackson, the starter, is responsible for those 2 runners. That'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Brady Schrank. Again, Brady's a really good athlete. Was a 2-sport athlete over at Foothill High School. Supposed to attend the University of Hawaii and play baseball, but bounced back to Santa Ana College. This one, high and inside. 1-0 the count. Schrank had an RBI double in his first AB that scored Connor Deach from first base. A pickoff move over to second. Ooh, a better throw might have gotten Dobson as the throw was high to Caballero. Dobson did get picked off yesterday. No, it was game number 1 of the weekend back on Thursday against the Vaqueros when he was at first base. Three 3-1 is the score. 1-0 is in there, breaking ball on the front door. 1-1 the count to Brady Schrank. Again, the starting right fielder today, starting in place of Carson Case. Schrank as a starter in his first 6 starts of the season only gave up 2 earned runs. However, due to that arm injury, just wasn't as effective. And that really occurred during conference play in that series against Irvine Valley. Gave up 4 runs, and that was the first sign that Brady wasn't as effective on the mound for the Dons. He emerged as the ace, even with sophomores Jackson Andiel and Haas Fragoso on the roster. This one swung on and missed. So strike number 2 as Brady Schrank went above the letters there. Schrank did start game number 1 against the Rustlers in the regular season series. Went 3 innings, gave up 6 runs, and was pulled after that 3rd inning. Here's the 2-2. This one fouled out of play to the right side. We'll do it again. Again, runners still on first and second. Rodriguez now into the game in relief of Dante Jackson. Top of the 4th inning. Schrank hitting 200 on the season. This one fouled back again, so it's a tough out by Brady Schrank. Didn't get a whole lot of opportunities, only 25 at-bats on the year. 5 hits in those 25 at-bats. Does have a triple, as well as 1 double. Has 5 RBIs. Now 6 after that double that came across in the second inning. This one, oh! Again, the Rustler faithful here thought that was strike 3. However, it's ruled ball. And so now it's a full count pitch coming up for J.D. Rodriguez and Brady Schrank. Dobson at second, Sanchez at first. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Dons lead 4-3. Big pitch here for J.D. Rodriguez. This one misses. Oh, maybe a makeup call as this one is rung up. Brady Schrank. And Schrank goes down looking. So that probably should have came a pitch earlier and sent down Schrank looking on the 2-2 pitch. However, a pitch later, Schrank goes down via the strikeout. Now there's 2 outs. Rodriguez able to get 2 out and stranding the runner still at first and second. He's going to try and get this third. First pitch to Christian Altamirano is a breaking ball that's in there for a strike. Altamirano had a double in his last AB. Back-to-back breaking balls, and that's back-to-back strikes for Christian Altamirano. He's down in an 0-2 hole. So Rodriguez is in a groove since coming into the game. And this inning started with Dante Jackson walking the first 2 batters of the inning. Here's the 0-2. Rodriguez slips and falls onto his rear. We hope he's okay. One and 2 the count. It's a big guy up on the mound too, standing at 6'5". Dobson at second, Sanchez at first, 2 outs. A 1-2 count for the freshman shortstop, Altamirano. Rodriguez comes set, delivers on home, and it's a strikeout, squirts away from Aiden Garcia, but there was a runner at first, and so there will be no need for a throw down to first base. Altamirano is retired via the strikeout. Nice pitching there by J.D. Rodriguez. He struck out the last 2 batters and got all 3 outs in the inning after the Dons were able to get the first 2 runners onto base via the walk. So some chatter between the first base coach and the home plate umpire. Again, he wasn't too happy that the catcher, Aiden Garcia, didn't have to throw down to home plate. There was runners on first and second, 2 outs in the inning. Regardless, the Dons are retired. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Dons still lead 3-1 here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. It's been a long weekend here at Golden West College. Rustlers enter today with a record of 1-1 in the weekend. Dons with the record of 2-1. Lost that first game to Santa Barbara City, however. Saved their postseason with 2 must-win games. Now the winner of this game will advance to the regional finals and take on the winner of the Palomar Mount SAC Super Regional. Alan Huerta still on the mound for the Dons. Bottom of the 4th, 4-5-6 due up.
Leading off for Golden West, first baseman, number 29, Andrew Kirshner.
It was a long top of the 4th inning. However, the Dons weren't able to push across the run. Now it's the bottom of the 4th. Rustlers still trailed 3-1. The first baseman, Andrew Kirchner, leading things off. That one misses. 1-0 the count. Kirchner had a single back in the bottom of the first. This one hit weakly over to the first base coach. Foul ball. 1-1 the count. As a team, the Rustlers hit 62 home runs. Kirchner had 10 of those. This one swung on and missed. A lot of power in the at-bats here by the Rustlers lineup. It's a deep ballpark, too, here at Fred Hoover Field, 417 to dead center. This one swung on and missed, and that's strike number 3. So Alan Huerta now has made 4 straight strikeouts of the Rustlers lineup. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Dylan Lena. Alan Huerta allowed a run to come across in that first inning, but has been money ever since. He now has 6 strikeouts in the outing thus far. This one hit sharply into center field. Jimmy Leano's going to race back. He's still going back at the track. Makes the catch for out number 2. Again, we just talked about how deep of a ballpark that is. At Santa Ana College, that's probably a home run if it gets over the center field wall. At least off the wall at Santa Ana College. And now with 2 outs, that'll bring up the right fielder, Jack Salmon. And Alan Huerta making his first start of the season. Hard hit, foul to the right side, 0-1 the count. It's the first start for Huerta as a member of the Dons program since 2022. Connor Deach behind the plate, Dobson at third, Altamirano at short, Williams at second, and Rocha at first. This one misses down and away, 1-1 the count. Jake Long in left field, Jimmy Leana in center, and Brady Schrenk in right. This one's ruled a strike at the bottom half of the zone, 1-2 the count. Jack Salmon flew out to center field. One ball, 2 strikes to Jack Salmon, the co-MVP of the Orange Empire Conference. Checked his swing there, and a nice job of doing so, as it's now a 2-2 count. Good change up there by Alan Huerta. On deck is the shortstop, Robert Castillo. This one fouled off into the air. Dobson's going to give a look, but it's over the netting and out of play. We'll do it again, 2-2. Kirchner is a sophomore from Gar High School over in the city of Cerritos. 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Here's the 2-2 from Huerta. This one hit softly into the left side, and that's Dobson who makes the catch for out number 3. So the Rustlers go down in order for the second inning in a row. Alan Huerta really in a groove. Dons still lead 3-1 as we transition to the top of the 5th. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel.
With 138 conference championships, 25 state championships, and 6 national championships, Santa Ana College has one of the premier athletic programs in California. With your help, we will continue to provide opportunities to student athletes as they thrive in both athletics and academics. We are Santa Ana College.
Let's go ahead and get you some scores from around the 3C2A. Again, it's a super regional round here in Southern California. Palomar has blown things wide open. They now lead 12-3 over Mount SAC. That game in the bottom of the 6th, and if Palomar wins that game, They will host the regional final next weekend and host the winner of this game. Cerritos currently leads 7-4 over Long Beach City College. That game in the top of the 9th. And in the third game, LA Valley trails to Saddleback 3-4, 4-3 in favor of Saddleback, another Orange Empire Conference team. Saddleback won yesterday, so if they win this first game, they would advance to the regional finals and take on the winner of the Cerritos Long Beach regional finals, super regional. That's a strike in there to Thomas Williams. 1-1 the count. J.D. Rodriguez still on the mound for the Rustlers. Dons lead 3-1. Top of the order due up in this half of the inning. Check swing there by Williams, but he did go around, says the home plate umpire. 1-2 the count. Off speed pitch there by Rodriguez. It was a nasty one. So it'll be Thomas Williams followed by Jake Long and then Jimmy De Anda. Rodriguez came in back in the top of the 4th and got all 3 outs in relief of Dante Jackson. This one misses high. Two balls, 2 strikes. This one fouled off to the left side, out of play, and we'll do it again. Again, nice day here for baseball at Fred Hoover Field. The winner of this game would take on the winner of Palomar Mount SAC in the regional finals next weekend. This one hit up the middle, giving chase to Caballero, the second baseman, but that's going to get into the outfield, and it's a leadoff single for Thomas Williams. Now to bring up the left fielder, Jake Long. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Flew out to left field and then grounded out to first base. Long is a freshman from Lucerna. Handful of freshmen in this lineup for the Dons this year. That one misses outside. 1-0 the count. Thomas Williams over at first. Has pretty good speed. 7 of 12 in stolen base attempts this year. We haven't seen him make a stolen base attempt in the postseason. This one misses as well. 2-0 the count to the left fielder. Long entered today's game hitting .324. Has made 37 starts for the Dons this year. This one foul tipped into the glove. 2-1 now the count. Early on in the season, the Dons were going back and forth between Long and Riker Billingsley as a starting left fielder, but very early on, they made the decision to go with Jake Long. It's paid off for the Dons lineup. Two and 1 the count. This is the breaking ball that misses upstairs. 3-1 the count. Three balls, 1 strike to Jake Long. On deck is the center fielder, Jimmy De Anda. Again, Andrew Ramos hoping J.D. Rodriguez can go a couple innings here after a short outing by Dante Jackson. This one's hit into the air into left field. Don Porter is right there and makes the catch for out number 1. So that'll bring up Jimmy De Anda. Oh for 2 on the afternoon. Grounded out to third base and then flew out to center. It's a nice play over by Caleb Duncan. Long look in from Rodriguez, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Rodriguez on the mound for the Rustlers. Aiden Garcia behind the plate. Dylan Lena at third. Castillo at short. Caballero at second. Kirchner at first. Porter in left field. Caleb Duncan in center. And Jack Salmon in right. Breaking ball. Oh, that was a nice one as he got Jimmy De Anda to flinch on the front door curve. 0-2. So the sophomore from Mater Dei in an 0-2 hole. Williams still over there at first base. Swung on and missed. It was a check swing. It hit Jimmy Leanda in the arm. But that's strike 3 because he swung. So Jimmy Leanda goes down via the strikeout for out number 2. So that'll bring up Mikey Rocha. Rocha's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Struck out looking back in the top of the third, that end of the third inning. This is upstairs with the breaking ball. 1-0 the count. This one misses upstairs as well. 2-0 the count to Mikey Rocha. In the win over Golden West back on Thursday, Rocha went 3 for 4, had a double, a single, and a home run. Was a triple shy of the cycle. Finished that game with 6 RBIs as J.D. Rodriguez has thrown 3 straight balls. Rocha also had a big day against El Camino last Saturday. Went 4 for 5 last Saturday in their 17-7 victory over El Camino College. This one catches the zone for strike 1 of the AB. 3-1 the count with the first baseman. Up at the plate, Thomas Williams at first base. Kirchner holding him. Here's the 3-1. This one misses outside, so it's a 5-pitch walk to Mikey Rocha. J.D. Rodriguez already at 40 pitches in the outing. Only needs 1 more out to get through his second inning of work here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up the third baseman, Matthew Dobson. He's 1 for 1 on the afternoon. He had that solo home run to right center. He drew a walk in his last AB. As Garcia talks with J.D. Rodriguez on the mound. And this is the 13th appearance out of the bullpen for J.D. Rodriguez. The 6'5" sophomore from Dana Hills High School. Here's the first pitch to Dobson. Dobson checked his swing. I believe that's going to be ruled a strike regardless. 0-1 the count. This one hit softly into left center. That's going to be over Castillo's head. Being waved around third is Thomas Williams. And that's going to be an RBI single for Dobson. No one backing up the throw. And now going to third is Mikey Rocha. He's going to be held up as an errant throw advances the runners 90 more feet. So score that a single, an RBI single for Matthew Dobson as the 4th run comes across for the Dons. And then on the error, Rocha advances to third, and Dobson advances to second. He's 7. So it's now a 4-1 ball game here in the top of the 5th. The inning continues for Keon Sanchez. This one hit up the middle. Not going to be able to get it is the middle infielders. 2 more runs are going to plate for the Dons. And it's now a 6-1 game. Again, a lot of Dons fans traveled here to Golden West College. A 2 RBI single for Keon Sanchez, the freshman from San Diego. Has had a lot of impact moments this postseason. Still 2 outs in the inning. The Dons did their work in the top of the 2nd with 2 outs as well. So a little 2-out magic here for the Dons in today's game. They lead 6-1. Sanchez at first. Connor Deach now at the plate, the catcher. This one, A strike. Deach 0 for 1 on the afternoon, popped up to the first baseman, Kirchner, in foul territory in his last AB. Rodriguez comes set. 0-1 misses, 1-0, 1-1 the count. Deach was hit by a pitch in his first AB and came around to score on the Brady Schrank double. Breaking ball that's hit hard into left field. Is it going to stay fair? No, it's a foul ball. One and two the count. Connor Deach will have to walk back to the plate. Keon Sanchez will jog on over back to first. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Rodriguez comes set, pitching from the first base side of the rubber. This one hit into the air, into right center, tailing away from Duncan. Duncan running to his left, camps under it, and makes the catch for out number 3. So the Dons are able to get 3 more runs here in the top of the 5th. They now lead 6-1. Again, the winner of this game would advance to the regional finals next week. And again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel.
Starting your college journey is a big step. It requires discipline and dedication while you balance your work, life, and education. At Santa Ana College, you can choose a pathway that fits into your schedule and leads you toward your personal and educational goals. Earn an associate degree, university transfer, career training, or even a bachelor's degree in occupational studies. With classes available both in person and online. Gain the professionalism and confidence you need to further yourself and your career, and become a bigger part of your community. Wraparound services are available to fit your needs and provide all the necessary tools to achieve academic, personal, and career success. Start your journey at Santa Ana College. Where it leads is up to you.
Bottom of the 5th inning here at Fred Hoover Field. New right fielder to tell you about, as Carson Case has come into the game in substitution for Brady Schrank. Maybe a defensive substitution for the Dons. Brady Schrank went 1 for 2 at the plate, had a huge RBI double back in the top of the 2nd. If Carson Case stays into the game, he'll lead off the top of the 6th. First pitch to Robert Castillo. Was swung on and foul tipped into the glove. 0-1 the count. Alan Huerta still on the mound for the Dons. Has had an impressive start thus far. This breaking ball nearly hits Castillo, but it's ruled the ball. 1-1 the count. Misses outside. 2-1 the count. 7-8-9 due up in this half of the inning. Castillo 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Struck out swinging in his last AB that came in the bottom of the 2nd. Here's the 2-1 from Huerta. This one hit into left center, and that's going to fall for a base hit right in front of Jimmy Leanda, so it's a leadoff single. As the Rustler fans here make some noise for the home team. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Rocco Caballero.
Now batting, second baseman, number 7, Rocco Caballero.
Wearing number 7. Second baseman went to Warren High School. He's a sophomore. So he was teammates with Haas Fregoso and Robert Linares over at Santa Ana College. Owen won the count to the second baseman. This one, another fastball that he can't catch up to. So the second baseman quickly down 0-2. The shortstop Castillo at first base to throw over to first base, but back in standing is Castillo. Don's got 3 runs in the second and then 3 runs just now in the top of the 5th. They lead 6-1. Here's the 0-2. This one's hit softly to the shortstop, Altamirano. Gonna flip it over to second for 1. Williams way too late on that throw to first, so at least they'll get 1 out. 6-4, fielder's choice. And then I'll bring up the left fielder, Don Porter. Porter flew out to center, and it was a nice play by Jimmy Leanda racing to his right. As Don Porter made good contact, sending it to left center. Just hung up long enough for Leanda to race under and catch it. 1-0 the count. Next pitch will be number 64 for Huerta. So a chance that he could go into the 6th inning if he gets this last 2 outs here in the 5th. This one in there for a strike, 1-1 the count. This would be huge for Tom Nils and George Caralejo if Huerta can give them a good outing as a starter. This one hit sharply but foul to the left side. That could have been trouble had it stayed fair. Good speed over there at first with Caballero. One and 2 the count to the left fielder. Breaking ball that's poked out to the right side. Rocha stays with it. Throw over to second. Altamirano applies the tag. Wow, what a play there by Mikey Rocha. Had to make that throw fading back after stepping back on the bag on first base. And then Altamirano had to put down the tag, score that 3-6 for the double play. And so that ends the bottom of the 5th. We transition to the top of the 6th inning. Don still leads 6-1. It'll be 8-9-1 due up, and we'll see if Carson Case will be hitting for himself. He came in as a defensive substitution for Brady Schrank. Let's go ahead and check out some scores from around the 3C2A. So we have a final score. Cerritos defeated Long Beach City College, and they'll be hosting the regional finals next weekend. They'll take on the winner of Saddleback and LA Valley. They defeated Long Beach 7-4 and advanced to the regional finals. Palomar hanging on to a 12-6 lead over Mount SAC. That game in the bottom of the 7th. And Saddleback extends their lead now 5-3 over LA Valley in the top of the 6th inning. Dons lead 6-1 here. Winner would take on the winner of Palomar and Mount SAC. J.D. Rodriguez still going to be on the mound for the Rustlers. He came into the game back in the 4th inning in relief of Dante Jackson. Dante Jackson only able to go 3 innings of work. I'm sure Andrew Ramos and the rest of the coaching staff was expecting a little bit more from their big lefty. He went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned, issued 2 walks, and had 1 strikeout. He faced 15 batters and only threw 38 pitches. He gave up 3 runs in the top of the 2nd, Jackson did. Allowed the first 2 runners to reach in the 4th, but J.D. Rodriguez did a nice job of stranding those runners. First pitch to Carson Case, misses downstairs, 1-0 the count. Case awaits the 1-0. Didn't get the start today. It's now a 2-0 count. Schrank got the start in right field. Had that RBI double back in the top of the second that scored Connor Deach, and then he came around to score on the double by Christian Altamirano. So first AB of the day for Carson Case. Struggled yesterday and for much of the postseason. He went 0 for 3, did get on base via 2 walks yesterday in the win over Santa Barbara City. 3-1 the count. He was asked to put down a bunt yesterday and popped it up behind the plate in foul territory. This one misses downstairs, so it's a walk to lead off the 6th inning. So Carson Case is the board first base. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Christian Altamirano. Altamirano hitting .300 on the season. Struck out and then had an RBI double. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Case has good speed over there, the sophomore from Foothill at first base. 1-0 the count. 5 of 6 in stolen base attempts this season. Dylan Lena going to play in at the edge of the grass over at third base. 2-0 the count. Kirchner holding the runner at first. The middle infield in at double play depth. Here's the 2-0 to Altamirano. This one misses high and inside. Looked like a breaking ball. Now Aiden Garcia going to take time and go ahead and talk to his pitcher, J.D. Rodriguez. Aiden Garcia behind the plate. Dylan Lena over at third. Robert Castillo at short. Rocco Caballero at second. Andrew Kirchner at first, and looks like there's going to be a mound visit. Don Porter in left field. Caleb Duncan in center. And at right field, it's Jack Salmon. So 3-0 count to Christian Altamirano. We'll see if they decide to keep J.D. Rodriguez still in there. So mound visit over. J.D. Rodriguez stays in the game. Golden West only used Alex Ramos and J.J. Robles in their game yesterday in the win over Santa Barbara City. Here's the 3-0 to Altamirano. It's a 4-pitch walk. So the mound visit didn't help J.D. Rodriguez battle back into that AB. Runners on first and second, nobody out. The Rustlers did use a few arms in their loss to Santa Ana on Thursday. They used A.J. Hernandez to start the game, then Grant Ferris, Jake Rice, Braden Cook, and then Braden Wellen. Breaking ball in there for a strike as Williams was showing bunt and then pulled it back. 0-1 the count. So we can assume that Grant Ferris probably won't be available. After going 3 innings back in the game Thursday. 0-2 now the count to the second baseman, Williams. Ramos started yesterday's game, so don't think he'll be available as well. Still haven't used Jack Smith this weekend. Might be their best available arm out of the bullpen. Braden Wellen didn't throw that much as well in Thursday's game. This one's hit into the air in foul territory. Don Porter going to camp under it, and that's out number 1. So a fly out to the left fielder for out number 1. Thomas Williams is retired. And that'll be Jake Long, the left fielder, due up next. 0 for 3 on the afternoon. 2-0 fly outs to left field. Long is a freshman from Lucerna High School. He's a 2-sport athlete, played football as well for Lucerna. Very good football team over in the city of Whittier. Altamirano at first, and it's Carson Case at second base. This one misses outside. 1-0 the count. Dons lead 6-1 here in the top of the sixth. 1 out of the inning. Infield playing Jake Long to hit it over to the right side of the infield as Castillo about 3 steps over from second base on the right side of the infield, the shortstop. This one pulled over towards first base. Kirchner gonna make the only play and step on the bag for 1. So acts like a sacrifice bunt, and now with 2 outs, there's 2 runners in scoring position for Jimmy Leanda. So to bring up the center fielder, Jimmy Leanda. It's been a quiet afternoon for him, 0 for 3 on the day. And this winner-go-home scenario for both these teams here. Here's the first pitch to Leanda. Ooh, a nice breaking ball in there for a strike. Leanda struck out swinging in his last AB. Flew out to center in the third, and then grounded out to third base back in the top of the first inning. J.D. Rodriguez still in the game. Here's the 0-1, this one. A high chopper to Lena. Lena's going to have to rush the throw. The throw's going to be in time as Kirchner makes a nice stretch. And so that's the third and final out. So nice job by J.D. Rodriguez after walking the first 2 hitters to retire the rest of the Dons in order. And thanks for tuning in to Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel.
With 138 conference championships, 25 state championships, and 6 national championships, Santa Ana College has one of the premier athletic programs in California. With your help, we will continue to provide opportunities to student athletes as they thrive in both athletics and academics. We are Santa Ana College.
It's the bottom of the 6th inning here at Fred Hoover Field, named after the longtime Golden West head coach. Fred Hoover took over the program back in 1967 and was the head coach until 1988. He was elected into the California Community College Baseball Hall of Fame in 1992. And the Rustlers named the field after Fred Hoover in honor of that coach. 1-2-3 due up at the top of the order in this half of the inning for the Rustlers. First pitch by Alan Huerta misses upstairs. Caleb Duncan, 0 for 2 on the afternoon, 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and came around to score in the first inning. The 1 run that has come across for the Rustlers. This one misses outside, 2-0 the count. Again, a good size turnout here for both teams here at Fred Hoover Field. The Rustlers, the home team, Santa Ana, not too far away. Here's the 2-0. This one hit foul to the left side. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Thanks for your support all season long. Alan Huerta on the mound, pitching from the first base side of the rubber. The sophomore from Sonora.
With 138 conference championships,
2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, and this one swung on and missed. That's the 7th strikeout of the outing for Alan Huerta. Out number 1 here in the 6th inning. And this has been an unbelievable and unpredictable outing, to say the least, by Alan Huerta. Making his first start of the season in no bigger moment, too. You think that sometimes the pressure gets to players in these type of scenarios, but Alan Huerta was ready for the moment. He's only given up 1 run that came across on a wild pitch. This one catches the lower third. Wow. Extending the zone a little bit. Aiden Garcia not too happy. Probably asking for the same calls when he's behind the plate for the Rustlers. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon. This one foul tipped at home plate, so it's a foul ball. Here's the 0-2 from Huerta to Aiden Garcia. This one misses upstairs, changing the eye level just a bit. Next pitch will be number 76 for Huerta. And it's been a weekend full of surprises. This one hit on the ground towards Thomas Williams at second base. He's ranging over to his right, stops, plants, makes the throw over to first in time. So that'll bring up the DH, Zach Samayoa. 0 for 2 on the afternoon as well. First surprise of the weekend was Santa Barbara City defeating Santa Ana 18-1 in game 1 of this weekend. Then the Dons surprised Golden West, defeating them 14-3 in game number 2. This one hit into foul territory, very high but out of play on the left side. 0-1 the count. The Rustlers avoided elimination yesterday, defeating Santa Barbara City 16-5, and then there was another surprise. A mariachi showed up with Santa Barbara City in game number 2 of the day. Didn't help the Vaqueros to a win as they dropped that game 9-4 to Santa Ana College and were eliminated from the postseason. So Santa Barbara City went home yesterday, had to take the long drive back to Santa Barbara. Here's the 0-2 from Huerta. Oh, the front door breaking ball sets down Samayoa. So he gets Samayoa down looking. Strikes out 2 of the 3 batters here in the bottom of the 6th. The 8th strikeout of the outing for Alan Huerta. That's been the biggest surprise here today. Alan Huerta making his first start since 2022. Coming up in a huge way for Tom Nils and George Carlejo and the rest of the pitching staff. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. We'll be back with the top of the 7th inning after this break.
Starting your college journey is a big step. It requires discipline and dedication while you balance your work.
Life doesn't change overnight. It takes effort and dedication. It takes learning new skills and putting yourself and loved ones first. At Santa Ana College, you can complete a full-time accelerated online program in just 2 years. Choose a program that meets your needs and changes your educational dreams into a well-deserved reality. Building the life you want means taking a first step. Start your journey at Santa Ana College. Where it leads is up to you.
J.D. Rodriguez still on the mound here in the top of the 7th inning, looking to get his 4th inning of work. Came into the game back in the 4th inning with 2 runners on and did a nice job of stranding those runners. However, in the 5th inning, he allowed 3 runners to come across and then stranded 2 more runners in the top of the 6th. Breaking ball misses upstairs. Didn't miss by much, but it's a 1-0 count to Mikey Rocha. 4-5-6 due up in this half of the inning. Another breaking ball. This one catches the bottom half. Rocha 0 for 2 on the afternoon reached on a walk last time it came around to score on the RBI single by Matthew Dobson. 2-1 the count. This one hit on the ground to Lena, past Lena over there at third base in that 5-6 hole. That ball had a lot of steam on it, and so it's a leadoff single for Mikey Rocha. So the sophomore from Eastlake High School reaches safely. Again, shout out to his family who listens to almost every game from San Diego. That'll bring up the sophomore third baseman, Matthew Dobson. So runner on first. Rodriguez comes set. Dobson shows bunt and pops this one up into the air in foul territory. 0-1. Dons have struggled to get down the sacrifice bunt, not just today, but yesterday as well. As a team, they have 16 sacrifice bunts on the year. Breaking ball, no, fastball misses inside to Dobson. Rocha at first, Kirchner the first baseman holding the runner. Dobson awaits. This one skips away from Garcia but stays in front of him, and the runner goes back to first. Next pitch will be number 70 for J.D. Rodriguez. Again, coming out of the bullpen. First arm out of the bullpen today for Andrew Ramos and the Rustlers. Here's the 2-1. This one misses up and in. So 3-1 the count. It's the DH Keon Sanchez on deck. Here's the 3-1. This one does catch the outer half. It's a full count now to the third baseman, Dobson. Middle infield hoping for a double play ball. Robert Castillo at short. Rocco Caballero at second. Here's the 3-2 from Rodriguez. This one's hit into the 5-6 hole once again. So back-to-back singles for the Dons over to that side of the infield. And now there's two runners on. Rocha at second, Dobson at first. Keon Sanchez now stepping into the batter's box. Keon Sanchez had a 2 RBI single in his last AB. He's going to show bunt. Corners are going to crash. He gets the bunt down to the third base side. Lena breaks on it, makes the throw over to first. Caballero covering. So score that 5-4 on the sacrifice bunt. So finally someone is able to get down the sacrifice bunt for the Dons. Now there's two runners in scoring position for the catcher, Connor Deach. He's 0 for 2 on the afternoon, but did reach via the hit by pitch and came around to score back in the top of the second. Rocha at third base, Dobson at second. Infield's going to play in to prevent that run from coming across on a hard hit ground ball. This one's in there for a first pitch strike. Nice job of J.D. Rodriguez to get a hit ahead of the hitter here. Dons have 6 runs off of 8 hits and no errors. Rustlers have 1 run off 2 hits and 1 error. Top of the 7th inning here at Fred Hoover Field. Here's the 0-1 from Rodriguez. This one misses in upstairs. On deck is the right fielder, Carson Case. Here's the 1-1 from Rodriguez. This one hit into the air, but in foul territory over to the right side, out of play. 1-2 now the count to the catcher. Yesterday's win over Santa Barbara. He had 2 doubles, a single, 4 RBIs, and went 3 for 4 at the plate. Also drew a walk. This one hit into the air into shallow left field. Porter's going to come in. I don't know if that's deep enough for Rocha. They're going to bluff Rocha going. It's cut off there by Lena, so no runners advance on the shallow fly ball. And that's out number 2. Huge out there for J.D. Rodriguez and the Rustlers to keep this one a 6-1 game. There's now 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up the right fielder, Carson Case. He got his first AB in the 6th inning and drew a walk to lead off the inning. And a great day for baseball here at Fred Hoover Field. A lot of fans turned out for both teams. First pitch to Case is in there for a strike. And the winner of this game would advance to the regional finals here in the Southern California playoff bracket. The Dons, the reigning 3C2A state champions, looking to defend their state title. This one swung on and missed. Case was out in front, and now it's an 0-2 hole for the right fielder. Two runners in scoring position, 2 outs. J.D. Rodriguez comes set. This one swung on and missed once again, so Carson Case goes down via the strikeout. Rodriguez able to work a magic act as there was 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out, and he got a shallow flyout and a strikeout to end the inning. The Rustlers still trail 6-1 as we transition to the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. 4, 5, 6 due up in this half of the inning for the Rustlers. We'll be right back after this break.
Starting your college journey is a big step. It requires discipline and dedication while you balance your work, life, and education. At Santa Ana College, you can choose a pathway that fits into your schedule and leads you toward your personal and educational goals. Earn an associate degree, university transfer, career training, or even a bachelor's degree in occupational studies. With classes available both in person and online. Gain the professionalism and confidence you need to further yourself and your career, and become a bigger part of your community. Wraparound services are available to fit your needs and provide all the necessary tools to achieve academic, personal, and career success.
So in this half of the inning, it'll be the first baseman, Andrew Kirchner, to lead things off. He has one of the 2 hits here in the afternoon, 1 for 2. The other hit coming off the bat of Robert Castillo. Those are the only 2 hits that the Rustlers have in today's game. Alan Huerta has been a pleasant surprise for the Dons coaching staff. Starting in his first game since 2022. This one misses down and in. 1-1 the count. Only at 82 pitches right now, too, so a chance that he could get through 7 innings of work, maybe even an 8th. Andrew Kirchner, Dylan Lena, and Jack Salmon due up in this half of the inning. Connor Deach still behind the plate. Dobson at third. Altamirano at short. This one fouled off, out of play to the left side. Thomas Williams over at second. Mikey Rocha at first. Carson Case in right field. Jimmy Deanda in center. And Jake Long in left. Here's the 1-2 from Huerta. This one swung on and missed, the 9th strikeout of the outing for the sophomore from Sonora High School. And that's how the 7th inning starts. Again, Huerta's doing a nice job of mixing up his pitches, mixing up locations, using the off speed, using the breaking ball, using the fastball. This one hit high up into the air. That's going to stay into the infield. Williams shielding his eyes from the sun. Rocha also there too. Rocha calls off Williams, and that's out number 2.
fielder, number 15, Jack Salmon.
So again, Huerta's done a nice job of neutralizing this very powerful Golden West lineup. Jack Salmon, the co-MVP of the Orange Empire Conference, now steps into the batter's box. He had 11 home runs and 45 RBIs this season. This one misses outside. This one's hit out into left center, and Jake Long camps under it for out number 3. So the Rustlers go down in order once again. They're down to their last 6 outs. We transition to the top of the 8th. Dons lead 6-1. Thanks again for tuning in to Dons Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. When you get to hoist the trophy, the next season comes with a big target on your back. There isn't a man in that dugout who isn't clear on the objective. A coach who knows what it takes, sophomores who are hungry for an encore, and freshmen who want to cement their name in history. So no matter the time or the place, regardless of the adversity we may face, we don't hang our heads, we hang banners. There's no room or time for panic, because come May, we know how to create that magic. The bumps and bruises along the way may have taken a toll, but come postseason, the only thing on our mind is back here at Fred Hoover Field. Dons currently lead 6-1 as we head to the top of the 8th. Still a couple more chances for the Dons to get some insurance runs. 6 runs doesn't feel like enough here in the Orange Empire Conference. The Rustlers have a very powerful and strong offense. Could wake up at any time here in the final 2 innings. First pitch from J.D. Rodriguez is in there for a strike here to begin the top of the 8th inning. 9-1-6 due up, 9-1-2 due up in this half of the inning. Temperature is currently sitting at 70 degrees in the city of Huntington Beach. Nice day at Golden West College. 1-1 the count. Next pitch will be number 83 from Rodriguez. This one misses upstairs. 2-1 the count. Altamirano worked a walk in his last AB, 0 for 2. Leading things off here in the top of the 8th inning. This one misses outside, 3-1 the count to the shortstop. On deck is the second baseman, Thomas Williams. So both the middle infielders batting back-to-back here in this half of the inning. This one hit on the ground over to third. Lena stays with it. Takes his time, makes a throw over to first. Nice pick over there by Kirchner, and that's out number 1.
Number 1, Thomas Williams.
So that'll bring up the second baseman, Thomas Williams, the switch hitter from Ocean View High School. Started 18 games last year for the Dons. However, an injury kept him out the rest of the season, and Mikey Rocha had to slide in over there at shortstop. Good to see Williams be able to stay healthy and durable all season long for the Dons this year in his sophomore season. Watches the first pitch miss wide. 1-0 the count to the second baseman. This one, a breaking ball that misses down, a little inside as well. 2-0 the count. Williams had a single back in the 5th inning that led things off in that half of the inning for the Dons. Came around to score on the RBI single by Matthew Dobson. 1 for 4 on the afternoon. This one misses inside. 3-0 the count. J.D. Rodriguez comes set. Here's the 3-0. This one does catch the outer half. Next pitch will be number 90 for Rodriguez. Aiden Garcia behind the plate. Dylan Lena at third base. This one fouls off to the left side, out of play. Robert Castillo at short. Rocco Caballero at second. Andrew Kirchner at first. Don Porter in left field. Caleb Duncan in center. And Jack Salmon in right. This one hit into left field, and that's going to fall for a single. A flare off the bat of Thomas Williams. And there's a 1-out single for the Dons here in this half of the inning. So now they'll bring up the freshman from Lucerna High School, Jake Long. Batting from the left side, playing left field today. Still looking for his first hit, 0 for 4 on the afternoon. He grounded out to first base in his last AB. Has grounded out to first base twice and flew out to left field twice. This one misses high and wide. 1-0 the count. Rodriguez came into this game in relief back in the top of the 4th inning. Allowed 3 runs to come across in the 5th. And has had allowed base runners in each of the innings that he's worked. However, only allowed runners to come across in that 5th inning. This one's hit into left center field. Going back is Caleb Duncan. Caleb Duncan runs over towards left center and makes the catch for out number 2. So Jake Long is retired for out number 2, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Jimmy Leanda. So after a really good day at the plate yesterday, Leanda 0 for 4 this afternoon with the strikeout and 2 groundouts to third base. Looking for his first hit today. It's been the middle of the order, I guess you could say towards the bottom of the order actually, that has done most of the damage for the Dons today. Dobson's 2 for 3 on the afternoon with 3 RBIs. Keon Sanchez has an RBI single. Brady Schrank had an RBI double earlier in the game. Christian Altamirano also had an RBI double. So again, those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters doing most of the damage here today for the Dons. 1-1 the count to Jimmy Leanda. Thomas Williams still over at first base. This one poked out to the right side. That's going to fall into the right field. That's a 2-out single. So 2 outs in the inning, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Mikey Rocha. Thomas Williams at first. No, Thomas Williams at second. Jimmy Leanda at first. That'll bring up Mikey Rocha. This one misses in the dirt, skips away from Aiden Garcia. But both runners stay put. 1-0 the count to the first baseman. J.D. Rodriguez comes set. Here's the 1-0, a breaking ball that misses. Next pitch will be number 100 for J.D. Rodriguez. Gotta imagine he's near the end of his line. This one, a high chopper right to Rocco Caballero. He's going to flip it over to second. And Castillo steps on the bag for the 3rd and final out. So score that 4-6 for out number 3 in the inning. And thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Bottom of the 8th inning. Last 6 outs for the Golden West Rustlers. Alan Huerta still on the mound for the Santa Ana Dons. It's been a surprising start thus far. Through 7 innings, he's only given up 1 run. He has 9 strikeouts, has given up 2 hits, and no free passes. He's done a really nice job being efficient. He's currently sitting at 87 pitches. And that's why he's back out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Again, making his first start of the season, his first start since 2022. He didn't play last season for the Dons. He had a red shirt. Let's go ahead and check out some scores from around the 3C2A. Things are all tied up at LA Valley as LA Valley has clawed their way back and now are tied at 6-6 with Saddleback College in game number 2 of that best of 3 series. Saddleback won yesterday, so LA Valley has to win in order to force a game number 3. And Palomar currently has a 12-7 lead over Mount SAC. That game in the top of the 9th. Home crowd for the Rustlers making some noise here in the bottom of the 8th inning, down to their last 6 outs. 7, 8, 9 due up in this half of the inning. Always cool to see such a good turnout here at the community college level. Nice day for baseball here at Fred Hoover Field on the campus of Golden West College. Golden West, the number 3 seed. This one misses in the dirt. That crowd getting louder and louder. 2-0 the count to the shortstop. Golden West earned the number 3 seed after going 15-6 in the Orange Empire Conference and winning the regular season title. This one does catch the bottom half of the zone. 2-1 the count. The Dons earned 2nd place, a tie for 2nd place with Saddleback after going 12-9 in conference play. This one's hit hard over Christian Altamirano at shortstop into left center. Jimmy Leon that cuts it off and limits to Castillo to just a single, but it's a leadoff single for the Rustlers, and it's the first thing that the Rustler fans have had to cheer about in quite some time. Their first hit since the bottom of the 5th inning. So that'll bring up the second baseman, Rocco Caballero. Alan Huerta now will work with the runner on for the first time since the 5th inning. This one misses upstairs. 1-0 the count. Again, 6-1 is the score. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Palomar and Mount SAC this next weekend in the regional finals. This one does catch the inner half, a 1-1 count. On deck is the left fielder, Dom Porter, and after that, it's the top of the order for the Rustlers. This one nearly catches, no, it does catch Caballero. So the first 2 runners reach 1 single and 1 hit by pitch.
Now batting left fielder, number 5, Dom Porter.
Castillo advances over to second. Now it looks like there's going to be a mound visit between the infield, the pitcher, and the catcher. That's George Carlejo, and again, want to apologize to the family of George Carlejo because I've been saying his name wrong for much of the season, the entire postseason at least. But Carlejo's going to go ahead and talk with Alan Huerta, maybe settle him in, and maybe buy some time for the reliever to get warm. When looking at the bullpen for Santa Ana College, Joey Iglesias pitched both days of the Super Regional Tournament, but got to imagine if they really needed him, he'd be available. He threw 28 pitches yesterday in the win over Santa Barbara City, and he threw 54 pitches Thursday in the win over Golden West College. They still have C.J. Brown available too. He did pitch yesterday, but in yesterday's win, C.J. Brown only threw 30 pitches, so I'm assuming the righty from Pacifica High School would be available. They could also turn to a guy like David Solowski and Rocco Garola, 2 sophomores who have experience. Hosfergoso has experience coming out of the bullpen as well. Here's the first pitch to Don Porter, and it's in there for a strike. Again, both crowds are getting very loud here. Probably the loudest we've heard it this weekend at Fred Hoover Field. Castillo at second, Caballero at first. This one skips in the dirt. Deach does a nice job of backhanding it. It's in a 1-1 count. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Alan Huerta coming set. 1 ball, 1 strike. This one in on the inner half. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count now to the 9-hitter. On deck is Caleb Duncan, the center fielder. And now Porter's going to call time. Looks like something's in his eyes. Maybe some dust flew up. So a brief moment in the action. Connor Deach behind the plate. Matthew Dobson at third. Altamirano still at short. Williams at second. And Rocha at first base. Jake Long in left field. Jimmy Leanda in center. And Carson Case over in right. That's the defense for your Santa Ana Dons. Alan Huerta still on the mound, the starter in this must-win game number 5. Winner advances to the regional finals next weekend. Here's the 1-2 from Alan Huerta. Oh, no, this one's ruled a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Don Porter. If it missed, it didn't miss by much. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 from Huerta. This one misses outside, and now it runs the count full. Next pitch will be number 100 for Alan Huerta. The sophomore from Sonora looks in. Gets the pitch from Connor Deach. Here's the 3-2. This one fouled to the left side, so we'll do it again. Porter batting in the 9 spot. 0 for 2 on the afternoon today. Grounded out to first in his last AB, and that was the beginning of a double play to end the 5th inning. Alan Huerta comes set. Here's the 3-2. This one on the outer half. They checked his swing, and Porter went around on the check swing. Wow. So home plate umpire rules that strike 3. That Don Porter went around. So Alan Huerta gets strikeout number 10 on the outing. Turns things over to the top of the order. He'll have to be very careful. Caleb Duncan, 0 for 2 on the afternoon. He was hit by a pitch and scored the only run for the Rustlers today. First pitch misses in the dirt. 1-0 the count. Duncan started all but 1 game for the Rustlers this season. Came into today's game batting .325 on the season. The Rustlers need the center fielder to come up in a big way here with 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Down to their final 5 outs. It's a 1-1 count now. Alan Huerta over the century mark. Next pitch will be 104 for the righty. This one swung on and missed, an off-speed pitch, and now Caleb Duncan down 1-2. On deck is the catcher Aiden Garcia, barring a double play ball. Here's the 1-2. This one hit on the ground to Altamirano. Morano fumbles it momentarily, throws over to first, not going to be in time. So the bases are loaded, an infield single for the speedy center fielder. And so that'll bring up the catcher, Aiden Garcia, the left-handed hitting catcher from San Dimas High School. And now it looks like we're going to get a pitching change. George Carlejo is going to go over to the mound, and it'll be a new pitcher to tell you about. So Alan Huerta's day is done after 105 pitches. He's going to leave the game with the bases loaded. And so now there'll be a new pitcher to tell you about with the lefty coming up to bat. Looks like it'll be a left-handed pitcher coming into the game. Wearing number 16, I believe that's Rocco Garola. So Alan Huerta gets a standing ovation from the crowd here at Fred Hoover Field, the Santa Ana fans that traveled to Golden West College for this game number 5 of the Super Regionals. Again, Huerta's day is done after 105 pitches. He had a spectacular outing today for the Dons. I'm sure even the coaching staff was really impressed by the start by Alan Huerta. He is responsible for all 3 runners on base. Bases will be loaded. Robert Castillo over there at third, Rocco Caballero at second, and Caleb Duncan, the runner on first. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back to tell you a little bit more about the new pitcher.
Starting your college journey is a big step. It requires discipline and dedication while you balance your work, life, and education. At Santa Ana College, you can choose a pathway that fits into your schedule and leads you toward your personal and educational goals. Earn an associate degree, university transfer, career training, or even a bachelor's degree in occupational studies. With classes available both in person and online. Gain the professionalism and confidence you need to further yourself and your career, and become a bigger part of your community. Wraparound services are available to fit your needs and provide all the necessary tools to achieve academic, personal, and career success. Start your journey at Santa Ana College. Where it leads is up to you.
So the new pitcher to tell you about for the Santa Ana Dons is number 16, Rocco Garola. Rocco is a sophomore from Mater Dei Catholic over in San Diego County, so not Mater Dei down the street in Santa Ana, it's Mater Dei over in San Diego. Rocco Garola wears number 16, pitches from the left side, has made 11 appearances for the Dons this year out of the bullpen. Finished with an ERA of 5.65, has pitched 14 innings of work, has allowed 21 hits, 15 runs to come across, 9 of which were earned, 5 walks to go along with 13 strikeouts, and he'll be tasked with getting out Aiden Garcia, left-handed hitting catcher, so a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Garola pitches from the third base side of the rubber. 1 out in the inning. This one misses outside. 1-0 the count. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the 8th. Dons lead 6-1. This one catches the zone. 1-1 the count. Aiden Garcia at the plate. Zach Samayoa, the DH on deck. And it looks like Andrew Ramos was trying to call time, but because it was so loud here at Fred Hoover Field, the umpire couldn't hear him. He had to yell it a couple times. He's going to talk with the home plate umpire about something. And now it looks like now it looks like the home plate umpire going to go walk over. This is the second, I think actually third time this weekend we've seen the umpires check the hands for the Santa Ana pitchers for sticky substances. I believe we saw Santa Barbara City ask them to check the pitchers yesterday. Joey Iglesias was pretty frustrated after getting asked to look for his hand in his glove. So anyways, Rocco Garola checks out okay, says home plate umpire. 1 ball, 1 strike. Aiden Garcia at the plate. Here's the 1-1. This one misses outside. 2-1 the count. It's the first time that the Rustlers have had a runner in scoring position since the bottom of the first inning. This one misses outside as well. Easy takes here for Aiden Garcia. So we'll see if Rocco Garola can get out Aiden Garcia here now, down 3-1 in the count. 1 out in the inning. play at any base for the infield as there are bases loaded. This one does catch the outer half, so now it's a full count. 1 out. Big spot here for the Rustlers and the Dons. Rocco Gorilla comes set. Here's the 3-2. It's a high chopper to Williams. Williams flips over to second. Altamirano over to first. Not going to be in time, so a run does come across, but they do get 1 out. So 2 outs in the inning. It's now a 6-2 game. That run is charged to Alan Huerta. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Zach Samayoa. Runners at first and third. Connor Deach will give the signs to the infield in case the Rustlers have a play. There's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And I believe George Carlejo either going to just talk to Rocco Gorilla or maybe even make a pitching substitution. Again, they brought in the lefty to work against the lefty, Aiden Garcia. There's a lefty on deck in Andrew Kirchner, so maybe they're going to talk about game plan here for Samayoa, and if they get behind early, they might just walk the DH. There's a lot of power in this lineup here for the Rustlers. Samayoa has the most. He finished the season with 16 home runs, had 56 RBIs. Both led the Orange Empire Conference. So he's a power hitter here, batting in the 3 spot. So I'm sure that's what Carlejo was talking about, working very carefully around Samayoa. They have a favorable matchup on deck. No balls, no strikes. Here's the first pitch to Samayoa. This one's pilled over Dobson's head, just over the glove. Now racing around second on his way to third. Jake Long picks up the ball. A runner's going to be waved around third. No throw, as that's going to be a 2 RBI double for Zach Samayoa. And just like that, it's a 6-4 ball game here in the bottom of the 8th. All 3 runs that came across will be charged to Alan Huerta. But if you're the Dons, at least you have a lefty-on-lefty matchup here with Andrew Kirchner at the plate. The lefty's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Struck out swinging in both of his last ABs. Singled back in the bottom of the first. Samayoa at second. This 2-seamer catches the outer half. It's an 0-1 count to the first baseman. Again, this inning started off with a single by Robert Castillo, then a hit by pitch of Caballero. Dom Porter struck out swinging, but then Caleb Duncan was able to reach on a single. That loaded the bases, and that forced the Dons to make a pitching change. 1-1 the count now. Alan Huerta was pulled, and Rocco Caballero came into the game. He got a fielder's choice on Aiden Garcia. So with 2 outs, a runner did come out across to score. But then there was a 2 RBI double by Zach Samayoa. Now with 2 outs, that'll bring up the first baseman, Andrew Kirchner. He hits this one high into the air. Jimmy Leanda goes back, but he's going to camp under it. And that's a big out, number 3. So the Rustlers do fight their way to get 3 runs across, but they still trail 6-4. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
With 138 conference championships, 25 state championships, and 6 national championships, Santa Ana College has one of the premier athletic programs in California. With your help, we will continue to provide opportunities to student athletes as they thrive in both athletics and academics. We are Santa Ana College.
New pitcher to tell you about, wearing number 11 for Golden West, it's Jack Smith. He's a 6'3" right-hander from Huntington Beach High School, a sophomore in his second season with the Golden West Rustlers. Primarily used as a starter this season for the Rustlers and head coach Andrew Ramos. He made 11 starts this season, only one appearance out of the bullpen. Finished with a record of 3-1 in 56 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 62 hits, 33 earned runs, 26 walks, and 43 strikeouts. Finished with an ERA of 5.24. Again, that's the new pitcher to tell you about, Jack Smith, wearing number 11. He's the third pitcher of the afternoon for the Rustlers. This day started off with Dante Jackson. He was only able to go 3 innings. They had a really good relief outing out of J.D. Rodriguez. He threw 100 pitches and was able to get through 4 innings of work. That'll be Jack Smith coming in to get the final 3 outs of of Santa Ana here in the top of the 9th and keep things as they are. 6-4 is the score. The last time that Jack Smith pitched in a game was last weekend. He went 4 innings and got the start against San Diego City. He did give up 6 earned runs and 7 hits in the lone postseason appearance. In the regular season, he took on Santa Ana College in game number 3. He actually got the start on the mound, went 7 innings, gave up 9 hits, but no runs came across for the Dons as the Rustlers won that game by a score of 1-0. That was back on March 22nd. So he's familiar with the Rustlers, he's familiar with the Dons. First batter he will face is the third baseman, Matthew Dobson, quickly up 2-0 in the count. Dobson hit a solo home run back in the second inning. 3 for 3 on the day, also drew a walk, so has reached all 4 times today. This one hit on the ground right to the shortstop, though, Castillo. Castillo takes his time. Bit of a high throw. Kirchner is going to have to apply the tag, and that's out number 1. So Jack Smith on the mound, the third pitcher today for the Rustlers and head coach Andrew Ramos. Again, it's the top of the 9th inning. Dons leading 6-4. They're hoping for some insurance runs here in the top of the 9th. Breaking ball misses high and inside. 1-0 the count to the freshman Keon Sanchez. Keon Sanchez laid down a sacrifice bunt in his last AB. 1 for 2 on the afternoon, also drew a walk. Had a 2 RBI single back in the top of the 5th inning. The freshman from Canyon Crest High School over in the area of San Diego. This one misses downstairs. 2-0 the count. It'll be interesting to see who comes out in the bottom of the 9th for the Santa Ana Dons. One might assume it might be Joey Iglesias if he's available. It's a walk to Keon Sanchez, a 4-pitch walk. So with 1 out, there's a runner aboard on first. And that'll bring up the catcher, Connor Deach. Connor Deach flew out to left field. Has flown out twice, popped up to the first baseman. Now it looks like we're going to get a substitution, a pinch runner running for Keon Sanchez. It's going to be Orlando Arellano. So Orlando Arellano will run for Keon Sanchez, the freshman from Grossmont. He's aboard on first. Get some good speed over there. This one's down the line and it stays fair. Arellano just checked into the game, now racing around second. Deach is going to go to second for a double, and the runner will stay put at third base. So right away on the first pitch, it's a double for Connor Deach. Runners at first and second and third now, excuse me. 1 out in the inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Carson Case. Case has had 2 ABs. He recorded a walk in his first one and then struck out swinging in his last AB. The left-handed hitting right fielder checked into the game for Brady Schrank as a defensive substitution back in the top of the 5th. Here's the first pitch from Jack Smith to Case. This one misses outside. 1-0 the count. On deck is the shortstop, Christian Altamirano. Infield in, on the edge of the grass. This one hit on the ground right to Caballero. Arellano's going to go for it at home plate. Now he's going to get in a pickle. Garcia runs him back to third. Lena now in a rundown. Going all the way to second is Carson Case. Kirchner going to apply down the tag, and he's out. So Arellano now it looks like Tom Nils is going to go ahead and talk with the home plate umpire. Again, a lot of the Don's players are pointing at something. Andrew Kirchner applied the tag. Again, not too sure why Arellano made the break for home plate on a hard hit ball right to Caballero. Should be 4-2 to 5-3 for out number 2. So 2 outs now, runners on second and third after the pickle. Getting all the way to second is Case on the fielder's choice. Deach is over at third. Again, a freshman mistake there by the pinch runner. Two outs for Christian Altamirano, the shortstop from Brea Olinda High School. First pitch is in there for a strike. Jack Smith on the mound for the Rustlers, hoping to keep this a 6-4 game. Aiden Garcia behind the plate. This one hit on the ground to the right side. Caballero skips off his glove. Now 2 runs are going to come across. Here's the throw down home. Garcia is applying the tag. They rule him safe. Carson Case avoids the tag somehow. And 2 runs come across here in a big moment. Wow, I thought Caballero was going to get that one for sure. Popped out of his glove as he was ranging to his left. And a risky move to send Case all the way from second. Andrew Ramos not going to go ahead and talk to the home plate umpire, so no argument on the call here. Wow, so 2 more insurance runs come here in the top of the 9th. 8-4 now is the score. Jack Smith still on the mound, and that's Thomas Williams who watches the first pitch strike in there. They give Altamirano a single on that one. So it's an RBI single. 2 RBIs. This one misses. 1-1 the count to Thomas Williams. He had a single in his last AB. Crazy moment just now as Caballero wasn't able to come up with the ground ball. 2 runs come across here in the top of the 9th for the Dons. They now lead 8-4. In this winner go home scenario for both these teams. Game number 5 of the Super Regional weekend. It's now a 2-1 count to Thomas Williams. The winner of this game would take on the winner of Palomar and Mount SAC and the other Super Regionals on this side of the bracket. If Palomar wins, they would host the winner of this game here. Here's the 2-1. This one does miss outside as well. 3-1 the count. Last we checked, Palomar had a 12-7 lead over Mount SAC. That game now in the bottom of the 9th, so the last at-bats for Mount SAC as they trail by 5 runs. Here's the 3-1 to Thomas Williams. He swings at this one. This is hits off the glove of Jack Smith. Now charging is Castillo. There's no play at first. And so it's an infield single for Thomas Williams. Altamirano moves to second. Hard to tell if Caballero was going to be able to get there if Jack Smith didn't touch that ball. So at the very least, he prevents it from going into center field and allowing Christian Altamirano to advance to third base. Altamirano at second, Williams at first. Jake Long stepping into the batter's box. Infield expecting him to pull as all three infielders over there on that side. Dylan Lina, the lone infielder on the left side. 0-1 the count. Long is 0 for 5 on the afternoon. Flew out to center field in his last AB. This one misses outside as well. 1-1 the count. Again, Jack Smith started the inning with a ground out of Matthew Dobson. Then he issued a walk to Keon Sanchez. There was a pinch runner. A double had it second and third with 1 out. Here's the 1-1 from Jake Long. Catches the outer half, a 1-2 count. Then with runners on second and third, the infield was in. Carson Case hit a hard ground ball right to Caballero, who threw home. Ariano, who was pinch running, got caught in a pickle and was tagged out for the second out of the inning. Then Christian Altamirano hit a 2 RBI single that scored 2 runs. Check swing by Long. Home plate umpire says he went around. So that's strike number 3 and out number 3. It's now the bottom of the 9th inning here. Don's hoping to hang on to this 8-4 lead that would send them to the regional finals next weekend. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. A lot of interesting things happened this weekend. Started off with Santa Barbara and Santa Ana taking on each other in game number 1. The Vaqueros surprised everybody here at Fred Hoover, defeating the Dons by a score of 18-1. Yes, 18-1 was the final score. So the Dons had to play 2 games on Thursday. They defeated Golden West 14-3, thanks to a grand slam by Mikey Rocha in the top of the first inning, and the Dons never really looked back there. So they avoided elimination, and it was the Golden West Rustlers and the Santa Barbara City Vaqueros who took on each other in game number 3 of the weekend back on Friday. The Rustlers defeated the Vaqueros by a score of 16-5 and avoided elimination, but that forced a must-win scenario for both the Vaqueros and the Dons. The Dons defeated the Vaqueros by a score of 9-4, and that eliminated Santa Barbara City from the postseason. The Dons stayed alive and now here are playing today in game number 5 of the Super Regional Weekend. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Bottom of the 9th inning, 5, 6, 7 due up in this half of the inning. Rocco Garola still on the mound. First pitch misses wide to Dylan Lina. A lot of power in this righty's bat. A third baseman watches this one. Oh, roll the ball. Now we're 2-0 count to the third baseman. Lina has good power. Hit 9 home runs, drove in 31 RBIs on the season for the Rustlers. This one does catch the inner half. 2-1 the count. Rustlers are down to their final 3 outs. This one hit into the air in right center, trailing away from Jimmy Leanda. He's going to have to play this one. No, it bounces over the wall. And so it's a leadoff ground rule double for Dylan Lina. Again, a short wall out in the outfield. That one took a big hop over Jimmy Leanda. And it goes over the wall. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Jack Salmon. You got to assume this is maybe the last batter that Rocco Garola will face. The left-handed hitting Jack Salmon was the co-MVP of the Orange Empire Conference, but you can neutralize him here by having the left-hander Rocco Garola pitch to him. He came into the game back in the bottom of the 8th inning with bases loaded, allowed all 3 runs to come across. Those runs were charged to Alan Huerta. This one misses, 1-0 the count. Connor Deach behind the plate. Check swing, no swing. 2-0 the count. Dobson over there at third, Altamirano at short, Williams at second, Rocha at first, Jake Long in the left field, Jimmy Leanda in center, and Carson Case in right. That's your defense for the Dons here as this fastball is over for a strike, 2-1 the count. And a lot of noise being made here by the Golden West faithful, hoping to spark a comeback here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Game number 5 of this 3C2A Super Regional weekend. 8-4 is the score. Here's the 2-1. This one misses wide, 3-1 the count. So you wanted the lefty to face off against the lefty, but he's struggling here to find the strike zone. Here's the 3-1 to the right fielder. This one does catch the outer half. It's now a full count. Full count, runner on second base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth inning at Fred Hoover Field on the campus of Golden West College. Here's the 3-2 from Garola. This one hit softly over to second base on the ground. Thomas Williams fires over to first in time. So they retire one of the more dangerous hitters in the Rustler lineup for out number 1. Rocco Garola does a job.
Number 3, Robert Castillo.
And that'll bring up the shortstop, Robert Castillo. It'll be 7, 8, 9 in this half of the inning with 1 out and a runner on third. So it looks like they're going to leave Rocco Garola to face Castillo. One to know the count to the shortstop. He had a single and came around to score back in the bottom of the 8th. This one over for a strike, 1-1 the count. On deck is Rocco Caballero, and in the hole is Dom Porter. So it's the bottom of the lineup for Garola. This one hit into left center. Jake Long gonna race over to his left. He's gonna make the catch. Lena's gonna tag up from third, but now there's 2 outs in the inning. So it's a sac fly RBI for Robert Castillo, but there's 2 outs in the inning.
Now batting second baseman, number 7, Rocco Caballero.
And so with 2 outs in the inning, it'll be the second baseman, Rocco Caballero. Rustlers down to their final out. They trail 8-5 here at the bottom of the 9th inning. First pitch is over for a strike 1. Yeah, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here. It's the 3C2A Super Regional round between Santa Ana College and Golden West. This one hit into right center. Jimmy Leanda racing over to his left. He makes the catch, and that's the 3rd and final out here. And the Dons advance to the regional finals. As you see them celebrate here at Fred Hoover Field, they come out victorious by a score of 8-5. Again, thanks for tuning in to the 3C2A Super Regional round here at Fred Hoover Field on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. What a weekend it was. The Dons lost the first game of the weekend by a score of 18-1. However, bounced back and defeated Golden West 14-3. Defeated Santa Barbara and eliminated them on Friday by a score of 9-4. And then a win or go home scenario with Golden West today. They defeated the Rustlers 8-5. They stamped their ticket to the regional finals, which I'm assuming is going to be the Palomar Comets. We'll go ahead and give you a score update if we have a final score from the 3C2A website. Still in the bottom of the 9th, Palomar does lead 12-7 over Mount SAC. You don't want to assume, but you can kind of guess that Palomar is going to hang on for the victory. And Palomar would host the regional finals next weekend. So Santa Ana survives and advances to the next round, the reigning state champs. Trying to make some noise in this postseason. Again, thanks for tuning in to Don's Baseball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. For Cammie Lewis, Mary, the athletic director, everyone who's been helpful with the broadcast this weekend here at Fred Hoover Field, I'm Noah Alvarez saying so long for this postseason. We'll catch you guys next time.
With 138 conference championships, 25 state championships, and 6 national championships, Santa Ana College has one of the premier athletic programs in California. With your help, we will continue to provide opportunities to student athletes as they thrive in both athletics and academics. We are Santa Ana College.
Nice to meet you as well. Good luck next season. Hope to see you guys playing for Golden West next season. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. A lot of things falling over here, huh?
The second inning, somebody lost that stamina.
Yeah. The umbrella too went flying over. I saw that out of the corner of my eye. I was like, damn. Hopefully that one's okay.